Coming to you from the studios at the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum on Route 66, it's the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast.
Rock and roll, Chicago. Rock and roll, Chicago, my hometown. Well, I was born in the city, gonna rock your city, Chicago. Chicago rock and rollers are the best you're ever around.
Hey, everybody, it's Ray the Roadie.
And this is Bewildered Mike.
Bewildered.
Yeah.
Why are you bewildered?
I want somebody to explain this to me. The people riding around on these not bicycles, not mopeds, you know, what the heck? I mean, what is that? I need somebody to explain that to me, because if you're on something that's not quite a scooter, but not quite a bicycle, and you can go about 35 miles an hour.
It's an e-bike, isn't it?
And you choose to go on a street that has a speed limit of 50 miles an hour, and then you start flicking people off when they're tailgating you.
Oh.
And somebody explain that to me.
So you experienced that?
Multiple times. Are you kidding me? Where I live, everybody's riding around on them now. Like little 16-year-old kids are using them as an excuse to ride a motorcycle. So that tells me you don't have to have a motorcycle license, because you have to be 18 to get a motorcycle license.
Right.
So what are these things that they're riding around on?
So not only are you bewildered, but I get this feeling that you're bemused.
And pissed off.
Okay.
Because I don't like getting screamed at by a 16-year-old kid that thinks he's got the right of way.
Did he?
I don't think so. I mean, you don't have turn signals on this thing.
Well, where I live, they just passed an ordinance about these things, like those scooters that you stand on, completely banned.
You are the guy I want to talk to then. So what's the law? I don't
There's
get
three
it.
types of those bikes. There's a class 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
The only one they allow in my town is a class 1.
Right.
But most of those bikes are 2s and 3s. So I don't know how they're going to get. Basically, they're banning them completely in my town.
Because it seems to me like a motorized bicycle shouldn't be able to go 35 miles per hour.
True.
And if it does, it needs to have turn signals.
Yeah.
And it needs to have brake lights.
I've got kids by me that are riding quads in the street, come flying around the corner and stuff.
Yeah. See, we used to get picked up by the cops. You know, they would get some kind of a flatbed and tow ours or pull it back home, bring us home, hand us to our parents. You know, we get the orange extension cord across the backside for doing that kind of thing.
Just mentioning that, I can feel it.
Kind of thing. And now it's like, hey, that's my kid. Leave him alone.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I'm just curious as to what it is. Because
I'm
it's
sorry you feel that way.
Do you own one of those, Ray? You sound like you know a lot about them.
No. This is just something new in my town that I've been reading the ordinance and stuff to see what it's all about, because I don't really understand them. Yeah. I don't have one. Yeah. I don't want one. I've got a Harley.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You know, anyways, I was just confused.
I don't know. I mean, I think they'd be great candidates for capital punishment.
Yeah, they could be. You know, unless you spell capital with some kind of stupid letter that doesn't belong in there.
That's
and then
right.
You confuse the heck out of it.
Throw an X in there.
You know, throw an X in the word capital or something like that.
Cxpital.
Yes.
Like Sex Pistols.
That's too much like Sex Pistols.
Yeah.
You'll get a cease and desist.
That's right.
If we do that.
Let's welcome
Capital. Capital with an X, everybody. That's not it. What the heck? There you go. See, that was as confusing as the name Capital.
It was.
With an X.
It was.
So how you guys doing?
Good.
Awesome.
Yeah. You guys drove a little bit of a ways to get here, I guess.
A little
sure
bit.
Did.
Originally from where? Where's home base for you guys?
We say that we're based out of Northwest Indiana because we're kind of all over the place.
Okay.
I sound like I'm from Northwest Indiana. So, it's a Griffith accent for those that don't know. Benji's from Griffith, Tyler's from St. John, and I was based out of Hammond for a long time. I came over here from Ireland to go to college, and so Hammond was my home base for a while. I've since moved into the city within the last kind of year or so. So we just say like the region is kind of the best way to put it, or we'll pick. It depends on the day. We'll pick a town. Sometimes it's St. John. Sometimes we're out of Griffith. It depends on who's asking. If they know the area, we'll get specific. But if not, it's best to say vague.
See, again, confusing. She's from Ireland. You think she'd be from Highland, Indiana?
Exactly.
But no, you're just going to go the whole other way.
Right.
We're just, I'm done. I'm out of here.
Now I'm bewildered.
No, I have to tell you guys, listening to your music, it was an absolute pleasant surprise.
Oh, thank you so much.
It was.
It really was, because number one, I saw 3 people. And I said, oh, great. Another punk band scratching the same freaking 3 chords as loud as they possibly can. Oh, great. I can't wait to do this podcast. No, but it was shockingly good.
Thank you.
For not knowing you was shockingly good. And it sounds way bigger than just 3 of you standing there, which bodes the question, how much of that is production and how well does it translate to a live performance? Cause I have to find out.
Well, ask Tyler how many guitar tracks are on every song. Mostly guitar.
Probably like
obviously Tyler.
16 tracks guitar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a lot of layering.
Yeah.
And live I just find the way just to make it as wide as possible.
16 tracks.
Maybe.
How are you finding 16 tracks to put on one song?
Well, I'll end up doubling the guitar, put one left, one right.
Okay.
Then maybe a solo. Maybe I'll double that. I don't know.
So it could be 8 tracks, just kind of duplicated or whatever
pretty
it is.
much.
And then you throw in all kinds of, I call it monkey cheese, lick here, lick there and things like that and different types of effects and everything.
Yep.
Okay. Excellent. Who does most of the writing then?
Say Lucie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of depends. Like the lyrically, I would say that like I just like grew up a songwriter. So like playing guitar and just writing songs like that. So that kind of side of things. So maybe like sometimes the instrumentation, sometimes that becomes more of a collective effort. We've built songs off of like something that I've sat in a bedroom and written with a guitar. We've built songs off of instrumentation or instrumentals that Tyler's put together and has kind of kept hold away for a couple of years and then brought out and just been like, oh, I've had this sitting on the back burner. Maybe we could do something with this. And then other songs kind of come out of just like, we're practicing and we're jamming and it's like, go back to that. Actually, that sounded kind of good. Or we'll play a song for 15 minutes straight. Right. We'll have one singular voice memo of it. And then every time we practice,
about a year. And then say, hey, you remember this thing? Oh, yeah, that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's go back to the beginning. How did this whole thing, first of all, let's go way back to the beginning. When did you come here from Ireland?
I came here in 2015.
Okay.
So I was freshly 18. I was like 2 days after I turned 18, I came over on a soccer scholarship.
Oh, nice.
So I played at one of the satellite campuses of Purdue.
Purdue Northwest?
Yes. Yeah. So it was artist formerly known as Calumet.
Yeah, right.
When I first got there, and then they changed to Northwest about a year in.
Okay.
But that's when I got here.
Right. Believe it or not, I am so familiar with that campus. Believe it or not, I designed all of the vacuum systems in the chemistry labs.
No way.
There. Yeah.
I still work there, so I'll be inspecting.
Are they Hoovers?
No, Hoovers.
Vacuums.
No, scientific vacuum pumps.
Oh. That might be Hoover, like they're cleaning the floor. And stuff.
I mean, they all suck. I mean,
they do. Yeah.
They do. Just they can suck different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what it's like. Well, he went there. So you still work there?
Yeah.
What do you do there?
Right now I am an assistant director in admissions.
Okay.
So I handle a lot of like outreach communication, as most musicians have a communications background if they go to college. So I do a lot of outreach communication to prospective students. I work with a team to just like design kind of the email campaigns and the different kind of platforms that we're on, to make sure that we're, creating a brand and kind of enticing students to come to college, whether they kind of want to or not. And then just kind of force it down their throat until they come to college. So
force them into that lifelong debt. And
that's right.
Just beat them into submission and here's your piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. I asked that because, we don't talk about a lot. It's kind of like an unspoken, it's an unspoken notion among musicians that just because you are a musician doesn't mean that you're not doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
We're not all sitting around at home,
right.
playing video games and eating Fruit Loops and, waiting for our phones to ring.
Mm-hmm.
We have lives outside of it and all that.
Real jobs.
Yeah. And that's an important one. Yeah. Okay. So 2015 and you came here in 2015, soccer scholarship and the whole bit.
Mm-hmm.
At what point in time or in your lifetime do you decide, okay, well, I'm going to be a musician. I'm going to start playing music?
Oh God. Probably when I was playing air guitar from like 3 years old.
Okay. Me too. Yeah.
And it was a great instrument. It
great place
took
to start.
no practice.
Right.
Acoustic or electric air guitar?
Electric air guitar.
Yeah.
And then when I was, I must have been maybe 9 or 10. I got my first electric guitar. I wanted to start on electric guitar, and my parents were like, please start on acoustic. We're not ready for an amplifier in the house. And so I got an electric guitar and started rock guitar lessons.
Because she was a rebel. You know,
Right.
that was she was sticking it to the man.
That's right.
Yeah.
Not like other girls.
Yeah.
And so I did electric guitar lessons for a couple of years, walked it back to classical guitar. And then somewhere in there was kind of just like fascinated by kind of the entertainer side of being a musician. I loved to like perform, and would kind of make up little songs that were like 3 notes on the guitar.
Right.
And would make my family kind of sit down and listen to it very intently. So there was always kind of like a buzz for performance there. And I feel like just watching other musicians and kind of growing up watching, like I used to just put like the music video channel on. I would just sit and watch music videos all day. And I think I just got fascinated by like that performance aspect too. Right. And then when I was about 15, I did this, like, it was called Song School. And it was these 2 guys in Ireland had put together kind of this like week-long camp where they would teach you how to write and record a song. I think it was in very basic, like, garage band.
Right.
But you would write and record your own song. You would do a music video for it. And then at the end of the week, everybody would kind of have these bands and they would perform kind of like just a little concert for parents and friends.
Kind of like rock and roll fantasy camp.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So just at some point there along the way, just got bit by the bug that like never really went away.
Right. So when you came here, you just decided not to go back to Ireland. You graduated from college, got a job, and just decided to stay here?
It was a little less of a seamless road than that. It was went to college, got a master's. When you're an international student, you can work for 12 months on a student visa with like an allowance, basically. And so I worked for 12 months at a radio station. Oh, okay. And then through that, kind of reached the end of that, was hoping that the road to kind of working here on a visa was going to be a little bit, I naively thought that it was going to be much easier than it was. I was like, what's me and 500,000 other people applying for the same visa? Like the chances are so high. Right. Obviously did not get it 2 years in a row and was kind of panicking. So the option was either go back to school and, you know, pursue another degree or leave. And so I was like, well, I guess I've always liked technology. I guess I'll go get another master's. And so I got another master's and just started working at the school throughout that master's. Mm-hmm. And then just a position happened to open up on campus in an area that I was working in at the time. And everything just kind of like fell into place.
Right.
So.
Right. You're in like the top 1% of musicians. I think it's you and Brian May. That's it.
Dr. May.
Yeah. PhD in astrophysics or something like that.
God.
And just for shits and giggles, he plays guitar in Queen.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't you hate people like that?
But he doesn't.
Like,
but he doesn't know how to use his pedals. He has a guy that does it for him.
Does he?
Yeah. Guy's behind stage and he knows exactly what pedal to hit. If you ever look, he has no pedals.
Crazy.
Well, that's most millionaire guitar players are like that nowadays. They have them all in a drawer that pulls out and they've got a guy with a set list going, can you imagine the pressure? Oh shit, I forgot to hit the delay. You had one job.
That's it. One job.
Yeah. So how'd you meet these guys?
In college, actually.
Or actually, how'd she meet you guys?
Well, she met Tyler first.
Okay.
Through a recording class. Yeah. Tyler was also going to school. And they're both older than I am. I'm the youngest.
He's bragging.
Yeah.
He's
I mean, you explain it more because you were together for a while before I met you guys.
Yeah. So I was just hanging out at a recording class at Purdue, and I would always be in there, and I like always skip my classes, and and then eventually I found Lucie. She started coming in, and then just came out from there. We just started. We had this, like I said, the class. Yeah, it kind of came from there. We just started hanging out in there, and we just started writing music. We started our first project in there called Waves.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And then we came out with a 4-song EP, and then eventually we started playing just these little shows, me and her. And then we're like, we really need a drummer. We need to find a drummer. Right. And I forgot who found Benji. Then we found Benji. And then we started writing music in my old house. And then from there, we just create our first single, If You Talk. Mm-hmm. And then from there, it just, yeah.
Now, how long have you guys been together?
That
was 7-something years.
Yeah, that was like 2017, I think.
Yeah.
So I met Tyler in 2016, and it was about a year before we were kind of pointed into the direction of Benji.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to pause it here for just a second. All right, we're back. We thought we had a security breach going on here, so we had to just pause for a cause just for a second. Turns out it was the CEO of the
and founder
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and founder. Yeah. Ron Romero walking in with his band rehearsing. So, okay. I'm sorry that caught me off guard. That's my heightened awareness.
Yep.
You know,
Those fight or flight.
Yeah. So how long has it been? You guys have been together?
Since like 2017, I guess.
Okay.
We met Benji kind of in the fall of 2017. And like, I think the first meeting that we had, you brought a bass. You brought your bass. I had surgery on my hand. Yeah. So I couldn't play a thing. Attempted to play a little bit of the bass with like, I had surgery on my pinky finger. And so the whole thing was kind of encased. And so I had no dexterity in my right hand.
I was going to say, because you really only need these two fingers to play the bass.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No,
okay. This one. That one.
Really nothing. Yeah. It was limited for sure. And so we sat with like a guitar and a bass. And I think we ended up writing a song.
We did.
I think that's how If You Talk kind of came about. We kind of just like threw it together. And then the week after that, we recorded it. And then we were like, well, it sounds great. And just like, you worked some magic on it. I think that one is probably our most produced song. And it was our first song that we ever did.
And that was my first recording experience ever. So I was nervous as all hell.
I remember that the song went something kind of like, I can't play because I broke my pinky or something like that. That's where it came from. Yeah.
There's undertones in there. Yeah, for sure.
Right. Okay. Interesting. So how did the sound, you guys are going to play for us, I'm assuming, right? Mm-hmm. And we're going to have, clips and everything and sound bites and everything when this comes out. But, like I said, your sound was kind of surprising to me. How did that develop?
When we met in 2016 at the recording class, I was listening to a lot of one of my favorite bands at that time was a band called Pvris, and this will tell you where the X came from. Mm-hmm. So Pvris is spelled Pvris.
Oh, okay.
See if there's a connection to an influence.
Mm-hmm.
And they
like virus.
Yes.
Right.
I think they had also received some kind of cease and desist from either a band with the name Paris, Paris, or via the city in France. Who knows? It's one of the two.
Right.
I'm not sure which one, so I guess it's up to whomever to just assume which one. Okay. But they had just come out with their second album, and it was their first album was rock. Like they were like a Warped Tour band. But there was a lot of like electronic kind of influences in there too. And their second album was way more rock heavy and just kind of like melodic and very heavy on reverb. And I think they did a lot of the recordings in like an old abandoned church. So you kind of got that natural reverb sound on it.
Which is always the best. In my opinion.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
So that was a big influence for me at the time. Tyler grew up on a lot of, and I'm sure you can kind of, you have your own voice, so I'll let you speak. But on like Silver Sun pickups and like Red Hot Chili Peppers and things like that.
I hear it all. I heard it all in the music that I listened to. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So we tried to kind of just blend. I think at that time, it was very much at the stage of like, okay, well, how do we make a song sound like this artist? And I think we did get stuck on writing a fourth song, and we actually sat in separate rooms and kind of gave each other like an hour and a half, and we're like, okay, did you come up with anything? No? Okay, sick. Neither did I. And eventually we did catch on to something. But it just kind of was like an amalgamation of our interests that was kind of like, okay, well, we like this sound. We weren't going for like a Paramore or anything like that, but you could definitely tell that there was maybe a little bit of influence pulled in there. Mm-hmm. And then it just kind of developed from there. When Benji came in, I think one of the first things that I remember he texted me was, these are all my interests. I listened to a lot of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, and I had never heard of them at the time. And I went, what the hell is he talking about? I was like, what kind of music are we about to what influence is about to come in here? But you had a Police, a classic rock background.
Yeah, very much so. And the Police was actually my first concert I ever went to. I was 8 years old. My parents took me. That was the last tour they ever did. And by no means is my drumming style ripped from Stuart Copeland. I just think he's insane. But I'm very much revisiting them in my 20s now. It's pretty cool because my dad and I talk about all our music tastes are very similar. He would rock me to sleep playing the Outlandish D'Amour album, and I'd be asleep by So Lonely, which is the second track. So that's all coming back
because it just bored him to death.
No, you're not holding yourself responsible for Police not getting back together after you saw them. Are you?
I could be.
Okay. Get some counseling.
Will do.
But you don't have to play exactly like him in order to steal things from him, because it can be, I can hear it. I heard it in the drums. Your touch is what you get from him.
Thank you.
I mean,
do a lot of hi-hat rolls. Maybe I get it from him. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, you know what? We're sitting here talking about their music. I think it's time to take a pause for real this time.
Okay.
And make sure that there's nobody else breaking in here, and we're going to get them all set up and EQ'd, and we're going to hear them live in the studio for the first time.
Okay. We'll be right back.
Alrighty.
You're listening to the Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast. Hey, everybody, it's Ray the Roadie.
And this is Hollywood Mike of the Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast. If you've been enjoying our weekly program, we have great news for you. Just tune in to Road to Rock Radio on Mondays at 7 p.m. Central Time, and you can hear a rebroadcast of one of our past episodes. Then again on Thursdays at 7 p.m., you can hear our most current episode brought to you by the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum on Route 66.
So go to roadtorock.org, scroll down, and click on Radio Station. That'll bring you to the Road to Rock Radio, a station committed entirely to the great music from Illinois, from Chicago blues born on Maxwell Street to today's rock and roll and everything in between. 24/7, all music with its roots in Illinois.
And we're back. The first time tonight, we've got Cxpital live in the studio. Take it away. Well, the dudes in the coffee house love that.
Yeah, they did, man.
They absolutely loved it. Yeah.
One of them spilled his coffee all over him. It's crazy.
Very good.
Very nice.
Thank you.
You know, you guys have such an eclectic sound. You really do. There's bits and pieces of different influences. I mean, it's unbelievably unique. I'll tell you what, I don't think I've been as surprised by a sound in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Thank you very much.
Really,
Sure.
I expected like a Green Day cover band or something.
We can do that if you want us to.
No, I'd prefer that you don't. we prefer original music on this show, I think. So what was the inspiration behind that one? And when did you write that one? Where does it fall into the timeline, I guess?
That one is probably one of the more recent ones that we've written. It's probably still, I say more recent, and it's probably still about a year and a bit old. That was one that at the time I wasn't driving. I've only recently gotten my license. I'm going to admit it to you.
Wow. The band appreciates that.
They absolutely
That's
do.
a
They're like another car.
That's a prerequisite, and every time you put in the must have own transportation.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. So whenever we would hang out, Tyler or Benji would have to come and pick me up, and it was a whole thing. But at the times, Tyler was dropping me home, and we'd either been just like working on recordings or something, but the topic came up of some of the songs that he had kind of worked on his own a couple of years prior. And he was like, oh, I've got a couple of them on my phone. I'll show you. I'll just show you what I have. And so he pulls up this instrumental that is pretty close to the actual recording. It's outside of maybe a couple of things. It's note for note exactly what he did a few years ago. And I don't know what it was, but that day we had a conversation, and it just, the common theme that came up, and I think you said it, and I actually don't think that you know this, but one of the things that you kept saying that day was like, oh, I'm putting my white flag up. Like I give up. Like I'm throwing in the white flag. Like that's it. And you were showing me, so we were sitting in the car on the way home. He was playing this instrumental, and it wasn't that I thought anything of it. It was, I could already hear the melodies in my head. I got home, he dropped me off, and I want to say he was 15 minutes back into his drive, and I was like, here's a verse and a chorus. It was so, like, it just flew out of me. Yeah. And that's
I call it the toilet paper. It's the toilet paper roll incident. Mm-hmm. Everybody has that story where you write a song on the roll of toilet paper while you're in the bathroom, right, and it's done in 10 minutes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It literally was. And I think I sent him a verse and a chorus, and I think probably wrote the rest of the song in, lyrically in probably an hour. And then I don't know if we then took it to you. It probably came up at like the next time that we practiced or something. It was like Tyler sent me this instrumental and I sent this back, and now let's try and figure it out and play it. And then we recently have been trying to do a lot more home recordings, because recording in studios is expensive. And we have kind of the capabilities and the knowledge, and some of the infrastructure. So we've been trying to do a lot more of home recordings. And that was one that we were like, you know what, if we're going to be serious about these home recordings, like, we should just like bite the bullet, start doing it. And that was one of the ones recently that we just recorded. So that one is, famously in like small band fashion, is coming out soon. And that could mean now or in like 5 years time. But it is ready to go. It just needs some cover art, and we'll set that up to go out.
Is that the wave of the future? Like home recording?
I think so.
Yeah. How come?
I mean, I can speak to it from probably like a social media standpoint of just like the influx of social media artists. And like when the pandemic happened, like so many artists came out of like TikTok and platforms like that were doing everything from their bedrooms. And so there's the subgenre of pop, which is bedroom pop. So a lot of artists kind of were born in their own homes. And so now more and more, I think you see a lot of people producing their own stuff, or setting up their own home studios, because I think it's not just like it's investing in a passion and a craft, but I think they've also found a way to also be like, well, if I'm a producer and I can do it out of my home, I can also monetize it. And, it becomes a side project then. So, from a social media standpoint, that's where I can see it. I don't know if either of you two have a more kind of concrete answer as to like the musicality of it.
I think maybe convenience for sure. Just having your studio right there, and then you can just pop out a song really quick and then upload it or whatever. But I just think it expedites creativity too. It's right there, and you don't have the pressure of the studio trying to get everything right. You can take your time a little bit better, but you can also craft it in a way that what you want it to sound like.
Mm-hmm. You know, Ray and I are older than you guys. I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing. Yeah,
it's news to me.
I'm just guessing. Probably old enough to be your fathers. But you know, we can testify that everything is kind of coming full circle to an extent, because when you start talking about the mid to late 50s, that's the way people were doing this. You know, producers would show up with a tape recorder and a suitcase, and you'd go find the local church, and you'd have a guy play acoustic guitar, and you'd record them, or you'd put a band in there, and you literally would record them in a church with a reel-to-reel tape recorder and one microphone. And that's how you got the recordings. Mm-hmm. And everything evolved to the point where it kind of is now, where record companies kind of own everything and everyone, right? Well, how does an artist combat that?
Right.
You know, combat. I don't know where are we going to, I think I put that.
Benji's an English teacher, so he'll correct you on that.
I probably put the wrong accent on the wrong syllable is what I did right there.
I think so.
Yeah. But, I mean, the only way to go against the grain, smart ass, is to, probably take control of it again with your own artistic endeavors, you know, do it in the bedroom or on the dining room table. Now we're still talking about music.
Music. Yes, we are talking about music. You can still keep the kids in the room with you.
Yeah. But you know, I guess as long as it doesn't become too electronic, because, you know, real musicians such as yourselves, I mean, and I as well, I get a little pissed off when I hear about people who have no musical talent whatsoever creating a top 40 hit.
Yeah.
You know, I have a friend that I work with, can't sing at all, loves to come out and see my band play, right? And can't sing. And he said, hey, I downloaded this app. And I was, okay, great. What's the app? And he goes, it's this AI voice app. And I'm like, okay, great. What did you do? And he says, all I did was read these song lyrics in my own voice. And he has literally read the song lyrics, blah, 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 blah. They matched it up with the song, and he sent it to me, and it sounded like he's singing it. You hear his voice singing it. And I was like, that is so unfair.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
You know, anybody's going to be able to create a song with AI. And it's just, I don't know. Once everybody can do it, it's not special.
You're not an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're phony is what you are.
Yeah, that's right.
It loses emotion too. Mm-hmm. Like the AI can't capture like the emotionality of what the songs or what the experiences that the songs convey.
Right.
But it'll, you know, I think commercially AI songs seems like it does unfortunately seem where we're going, like we'll probably hear it in a Ford commercial, or we'll probably hear it in like a, you know, like something to do with like the Super Bowl. They'll be like, we used AI to generate this like Super Bowl halftime show. So from a commercial standpoint, they're going, yeah, big bucks. Like they're thinking, they're only thinking with their wallets. But I think the artists are going to be the ones that really get like hurt by it, and they'll kind of be, I think it'll be downplayed by everybody else when artists kind of come forward and say like, well, it's lacking emotion, it's lacking experience, and it's lacking depth. And the bystanders can be like, well, it's a good song. So,
and stop crying about it. And blah, blah, blah. You can do it too. Yeah. But I mean, but you're absolutely right. Think about the millions and millions of dollars that people are going to save. If you don't have to pay John Tesh $1 million to write a 15-second, blurb for the Super Bowl halftime show or something like that. I mean, you know, think about the millions of dollars you're going to save. But anyways, I guess we'll get off of our soapbox now.
Okay. Yeah. Don't fall.
I want to hear another song.
I do too.
Yeah, we're all set and ready to go. I think you guys should just slam into one for us. Yeah.
You're listening to the Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast.
Your Sunday nights just got a whole lot bluesier. Get ready for the Bus Stop Blues, the show that takes you deep into the soul of the blues with classic hits, road stories, and live jam sessions. Hosted by bluesman Kevin Purcell and me, the one and only Road Bill. The Bus Stop Blues is 2 hours of non-stop blues, banter, and badassery. Check out the Bus Stop Blues podcast at thebusstopblues.com, where you can listen on Spotify, iHeart, Apple Podcasts, or any other major podcast platform. Hop on board the Bus Stop Blues, where the blues never stops rolling.
Yeah, I was going to hit the applause button, but that was good just the way it ended.
Yeah, it
good.
was.
Yeah,
Very nice.
Hey, have you guys ever seen or heard of the movie called Begin Again?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it.
You guys, okay, band outing. Okay, one of you guys has to find where you can stream it, right? And watch the movie, because you guys sound like you could have written the soundtrack to that movie.
Oh, wow.
And it's actually one of my favorite performance movies. It stars Keira Knightley and Mark Ruffalo. Mm-hmm. And he plays a washed up record producer. He gets kicked out of his own record company. And Keira Knightley is just this songwriter that he finds in New York City, and he wants to record her. But nobody will give him the time of day because he's got an alcohol and drug problem, right? So they just decide, what the hell? We're going to set up a recording console in the trunk of my falling apart BMW, and we're going to drive around New York City, and we're just going to set up on this park bench and we're going to record this music, and we're going to hire different musicians, like street musicians that we see along the way. If a cop car whizzes by with its sirens on, it's in the recording. Kids playing basketball in the background, it's in the recording.
Oh, cool.
It is what it is, right? And the stuff that you guys write sound like that soundtrack. You should listen to it.
Okay.
And then take that idea and record a song like that.
Okay.
Because it's really cool. It's a really cool movie. You guys should check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
But speaking of performing, you guys have some dates coming up.
Yeah, because I can't believe it's already August 12th.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
Yeah, that's right. What do you guys have coming up?
Well, this weekend we're playing some bar gigs. So we do kind of a couple of, cover sets here and there. And so this weekend we're in Indiana. We're at Buddy and Pals in Crown Point on Saturday. And the Sunday we're at John's Place in Griffith.
Okay. I've been to John's Place many times.
So it's a wonderful place.
I actually have a very old friend and I consider them to be family. They actually do live in Griffith. So
I've gone to the John.
I've been to Griffith many times. You've gone to the John?
I've gone to the John.
Yeah. I've gone to the John in Griffith.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
You got me on that one.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. I'm actually very familiar with Griffith. So that's pretty cool. John's Place. Okay. Anything, outside of bar gigs? You guys doing any theater type gigs or anything like that?
We've done a couple of, it's kind of one of those things that like once the summer creeps along, we're like, oh, now is the time that like, like I said, Benji's a primary school English teacher or middle school English teacher. And so he kind of has a little bit more freedom in the summer. And so we're kind of like, okay, we got to, for lack of better words, we got to capitalize on this and play some gigs in Chicago and get out there. And so we did a couple of gigs. But it's with both the guys living in Indiana, kind of the commute can sometimes kill us a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's also, I think it's also a lack of product being productive about it too. It's kind of like we're like, oh, we gotta get more gigs in the city. We gotta get more gigs in the city, and then August is here, and we're like, oh my god, we never got the gigs in the city. So and obviously music kind of exists outside of the summer. It just becomes a little bit more feasible for us to do it in the summer. So it's definitely on the cards. I think we just kind of have to bite the bullet and do it. I think someone was maybe mentioning before this about like, if I just had somebody to run my social media, like I would be dangerous. Like that would be great. We're kind of the same way. Like if we just had somebody to book the gigs for us, we would be set. We just have to get to a place where we can get someone to book the gigs for us. And that means having to book the gigs our own. So yeah, we've got like bar gigs here and there, and then the occasional original stuff. But like we try to post about it all over our social media as much as we can to get the.
And that social media is?
That's Cxpital Official. It's Cxpital Official. There's no X in official. Official is the way that it's spelled. Okay. But it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then we're on a couple of videos on TikTok and all of that because you have to be.
Right.
But yeah. Cxpital Official everywhere.
Excellent. Go out and see these guys.
Yeah, definitely. I think you'll be amazed.
Yeah, I wish I had the time to go out and see them.
Yeah,
but I would definitely like to.
Yeah, see, he's booked the whole summer.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
alrighty, guys, thanks for coming out.
Appreciate it. Great.
It's been nice having you. Nice meeting you. Thanks.
The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast is edited by Paul Martin. Theme song courtesy of M&R Rush. The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast does not own the rights to any of the music heard on the show. The music is used to promote the guests that are featured.
Rock and roll Chicago. Rock and roll